My father had opened a drugstore in Herondale before I finished pharmacy school. Upon graduating, I went to work there. About a year later, I was drafted into the Army. The day Mom and Dad dropped me off at the induction center, we were all in tears, off to basic training at Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Nothing special has happened in the past
couple days. We were told that basic training won't start till about March 12th. They are waiting for some more men to join us. So the only thing we've been doing is a little and a slight amount of exercise drills and some odd jobs around the camp. For example, we all had to wash 2 field jackets, rake the ground, sweep the sidewalks, and they even had us cleaning machine guns. Food continues to be good. We have a real comic among us, sleeps right next to me. He keeps us in an uproar all day. The mail, they told us, would be slow getting here. They said that if you wanted to get in touch with us in an emergency, notify the Red Cross and we will get the message much faster. There are no telephones in this vicinity, so I won't call until we get straightened out. The last couple of afternoons, we've been playing cards, for fun of course. Played hearts, rummy, and 21. I still have plenty of money, but most of the fellows are low. Instead of buying stuff, everybody trades. They trade stamps for envelopes, magazines for soap, etc.
Seems like an Indian reservation. They have a Walgreens store in Columbia, and I saw one of their ads in the paper, so I enclosed part of it. Well, it's getting into the middle of the afternoon now, so I better finish up so I can get my afternoon nap. This loafing will probably stop in a week or so, but I'm saving up my sleep now. Just think, 9 hours every night, plus extracurricular naps in the afternoon. Your Southern Exposure son, Allan. Sunday, March. That's all I know. Dear Civilian, I thought I had better get this letter off today because tomorrow we start basic training and our free time will be limited. I've been writing home about 4 times a week. Has Mom been saving my letters for you to read? If not, tell her to save them for you. Today is my last free day, although we should still get Sundays off. Just had a light snack, 3 pancakes, a hunk of butter, syrup, fried egg, 2 bottles milk, and peaches. They also had cornflakes, but I decided not to be a pig, so I didn't take it. We've been eating these kinds of breakfasts all the time, just like breakers at Atlantic City. Some of the boys read your letter, and they said they would like to come up, but they have some kind of army rules about not leaving the camp. Crazy rule, and to make sure we obey them, all around the place, they have funny 2-legged animals they call MPs. Our uniforms are getting snappier. Got some brass for our jackets. Most of us get rifles issued to us, but I have not got mine yet. They weigh about 9 pounds. You're 400 miles away, brother, Allan. P.S. Have you noticed how much better we've been doing in Korea since I got in?
Saturday. Dear folks, hope you don't mind me writing on this bead of paper. I took several sheets along to the range and never got a chance to use them, so I brought them back and will use them up on you. We got back to a regular barracks Friday night, had plenty of fun on the shooting range Friday. We shot from windows, rooftops, logs, etc. When I tried hard, I got quite a few bullseyes, but I held my score down so they wouldn't think I was a sharpshooter. I forgot to tell you that on Friday we marched from the barracks at the range to a special shooting course about 3 miles away, in the mud which was ankle deep, with a full pack on our backs. When we got to our destination, we were mud spatted and really looked like a bunch of convicts. Today we had a rifle inspection. None of us cleaned them when we got back. When the commander finished looking them over, he was fit to be tied. So we had 2 more inspections until the son of us was satisfied. Funny thing about it is that one boy had his rifle pass the first 2 inspections. The commander said it was all right. So between the second and third inspection, he took a nap. Then on the third inspection, he was called out for having a dirty rifle. What an army. Saturday morning. Greetings. Finally got another chance to write. Still been pretty busy. Thursday we had calisthenics and classes on various subjects such as guard duty, the importance of obedience, etc., and a group of about 30 of us took a test. We were told that we were selected because of our possible leadership ability. In other words, we may be eligible for leadership school and then OCS. However, that usually means an infantry officer, so I didn't get too elated over it. It was the same exact test that I took when I applied for my commission for the medics. Then Thursday night, we had to clean rifles and get haircuts and take stuff to the cleaners. On Friday, we had classes on map reading and compass reading. Then Then they broke us down into 3-man squads and gave us compasses and certain directions to follow. Each group started out in different directions, but if we followed our instructions, we were all to end up in the same place. The group I was in, of course, got lost after 15 minutes, and we waited for almost an hour until they blew a whistle to let the missing squads know where to go. Meanwhile, we had a nice rest. Later on, we'll do that drill at night. Can't tell what will happen. April 12th, 1951, Tuesday. Hello again. How's everyone? I'm feeling fine. This week we're working on the machine gun. By the way, they took a list of the Jewish fellows in our company, but no reason has yet been given. However, I talked to Herbie and he has been given a form to fill out. The first question on it stated whether, if we could, he would go home for the holiday. The next question was if he couldn't get a pass to go home, would he rather go to services in a private home or attend the Seder on the post? Anyway, I guess that they are planning to do something for us. I guess we will get a similar form. Herbie heard a rumor saying that if we got a pass, it would be from noon Friday until noon Monday. The only way I could get home in time to go to Auntie Seder or go out with you all would probably be by plane. I would probably get a pass this weekend, and I'm going to get information on plane and train schedules. I believe plane fare is around $50 to $55 round trip. Please let me know if you would want me to travel by plane. If I can go home, and that is far from definite, I may use some financial aid, about 10 to 20 buckaroos. Please get the money from my night table. The money is not doing any good there anyway, and it would make me feel better. However, don't send it until further notice, and don't tell anyone that I may be home because we haven't been told a damn thing yet. Sorry to hear about Dr. Snyder, and what do you think of MacArthur being fired? Most of the fellows here are cussing Truman out. Most of the officers here say that if Russia doesn't attack this summer, they don't think a war with them will occur. They say that this summer tells the tale. That's all for now. Love, Allan. P.S. Still haven't been told anything about Jewish holidays, so maybe our company won't get passes. Well, today, of course, we had another inspection. I told you we were selected to represent our regiment because we are supposed to be the best company. So we and other companies from other regiments were inspected by the general in charge of Fort Jackson. There must have been about 3,000 of us. They lined us up, and the general rode in front and back of us in a tank. Then he went to a reviewing stand, all decorated up, and we all marched past it together with 2 bands. It was quite an experience. Next Saturday, about the same thing will take place, but instead of the general of Fort Jackson being there, we will be inspected by the general of the 3rd Army. His name is General Hodges. Should be a wonderful spectacle. Well, tonight I'm really celebrating. I can start eating bread. I think I lost a few pounds last week. Never realized how much bread we really eat down here. About 5 or 6 slices a day. That adds up pretty fast. I enclosed a few pictures we had developed. More will follow. Love, Allan. Thursday. Dear gang, really leading the life. The only job I've done all week was very interesting. Me and Sheeran were taken to the Fort Jackson ballpark. We had to rake up and level the infield, fix up the pitcher's mound, and clean up the bases. It was right up my alley. Think I'll put in a request as groundkeeper for the Orioles. I asked the first sergeant about how long I'd have to wait till I hear about my interview. He said it usually takes about 30 days, and if I leave for Europe, it will follow me over. I found out that almost all the guys going to Europe from here leave 2 days before me and report 2 days earlier at New Jersey. Looks good because the smaller the group, the better chance you have of getting a good deal. The more I listen to the officers around here, the better I like the idea of going to Europe. I was on a work detail not far from here, and I overheard one sergeant come in and tell another, I just got orders for Europe. The other sergeant said, you lucky son of a, wish I could get my ass over there. I read an ad in the Morning Sun which was about European tours. It advertised that for $3,000 you would take a boat trip to Europe for 60 days. Just imagine all the money I'll be saving.
June 17th, 1951. Dear folks, just got back from making my phone call. I finished just in time because it has begun to rain. I guess you didn't like my orders too well, but when you think about it a little more, it doesn't seem too bad. In a speech yesterday, the captain told us that those going to Germany are damn lucky. After all, we've been going over there since the last war. About 5 years, and nothing has happened. And if something does break loose, nobody is going to be safe in any place. Then one commentator said on the radio yesterday that if things were going to pop, Truman wouldn't be sending Margaret to Europe for a couple months vacation, so I might as well take a tour too. The last couple weeks of basic were pretty rough, but everything came out okay. Please don't worry about those orders. It should be an interesting experience. A lot of fellas here are willing to give their right arm to get a chance to go to Europe. We'll be seeing you soon. Love, Allan.
August 26, 1951. In this letter, I am enclosing the last of the pictures which I had developed and also a negative which wasn't printed. It was taken of me on the deck of the ship in the shade and probably isn't clear, but maybe you can send it back and see what they can do with it. I'm planning to take some more pictures soon. It's getting late now and the baseball game is starting, so I'll hold on to this letter and finish it tomorrow. Well, this is tomorrow. Some people say tomorrow never comes, so I wrote this letter to prove that it does. I keep telling these men in white to go away. They read my letters and then tell me that they have some beautiful empty rooms for important characters like me at some camp called Asylum or something like that.
February 25th, 1952. Dear gang, today is a holiday for us, Uncle Washington's birthday, but I still have to work. You see, I have CQ today and have to hang around the phone, but it's one of the few bad breaks I've had, so I can't complain too much. And not too many patients have come in anyhow. The doctor gave a couple penicillin shots and I bandaged and dressed a burn and wrapped up a swollen ankle. By the way, soon I will be able to send you some very unusual photographs. You see, Sergeant Johnson was with the American Army when they liberated the Dachau concentration camp from the Germans during the last war. And he took several pictures around the camp showing bodies all over the place, incinerators, etc. The pictures are really unbelievable.
April 9th, 1952. Dear folks, had a very interesting day. During the afternoon, Captain Krellmeyer got all of us outside for some volleyball. The weather was excellent. I also found out that while I was gone all day yesterday at Munich, many of the dependents and other customers here asked where I was, thinking that I was sick or something. I stopped working at about 3:30 and dressed and went to the Paris' apartment where I was served some gefilte fish, water, matzah and butter, and Coke and some strong horseradish. We left at 4:30 and Mr. Parrish drove us into Munich for the Passover services. They were held at the Bergenbrock Service Club. The rabbi had made reservations for 600 persons, although some of the high officials told him that they didn't think over 300 would attend. Well, we really had a great turnout. Over 800 came, and extra tables were set up, and there was plenty of food. Soup, gefilte fish, wine, shapiros too, horseradish, salad, chicken, and of course matzah, plus other items. The fact that made us really full of spirit was that about 30 years ago, in the very same auditorium, Hitler started founding his Nazi party and gave many speeches here. And here in 1952, with the room decorated with Jewish flags, holiday greetings, Stars of David, candles, etc., sits over 800 of us celebrating Passover. It really was a thrill. The rabbi had Passover services from 6:30 to 8. He skipped several parts of the book, which made us all very happy, and a little boy asked the fair kashas. We also sang several songs, such as Dayenu. We ate from about 8 to 9:30, and then drove back here and arrived at Toltz at about 11. At the service club, I sent you a telegram, but I heard that there's a telegraph strike going on, and I hope you got it okay. And I hope that next year we all celebrate Passover together at our own Seder. Love, Allan.
Dear gang, decided to quit playing ping pong and get this letter written. Yesterday, about 70 officers came to the dispensary to take their annual physical examination, and we all had to pitch in and help. And believe it or not, had to take their pulse rate. They had to jump up on a box and then down to the floor again 10 times. Then I took their pulse. After sitting 2 minutes, I took it again. Then they had to stand 3 minutes and again took their pulse. Boy, it sure gave me a thrill to tell all the captains, majors, etc. to jump on and off a box. They are the ones who usually do all the ordering, but I finally got even with them. They were very nice about the whole thing though. Some of them only jumped about 8 times instead of 10 and winked at me, and I let them get away with it. After all, you can't expect too much out of these officers. By the way, yesterday a Catholic chaplain came up to the pharmacy with a prescription, and while I was filling it, he noticed my ring and asked me when I finished up at City. I was really stunned. You see, he graduated City too, and said I was the first person he had met in Europe who also went to City. We talked about the old alma mater for about 10 minutes. Sure is a small world. The same afternoon, a lady, wife of some officer, came for some medicine and also noticed the ring. She lived in Dundalk. Tuesday night, January 29th. Dear gang, the mailman was real good today. Got 3 letters from you. Only read 1 so far. Didn't have much free time today. On February 4th, about 1,300 boys from the division here will go out into the field for 2 weeks, so I had to make up a bunch of supplies. I was busy all day. However, as soon as they leave, I'll have it nice and quiet. From the movies, I went with Crittenden to the fights. You see, the division put on a boxing show in the gym here. It consisted of 8 3-round bouts. They fixed the gym up just like a big-time coliseum. Had a regulation ring, spotlights, and all the trimmings. The show lasted over 2 hours and was very enjoyable. Saw 2 knockouts, and I enclosed the program of the show as a souvenir. Been listening to Suspense and Dragnet, and now another new radio show is starting this week. It pays to be ignorant. About every 3 or 4 months, they take off some shows and substitute others, so we get a pretty good variety. Found out this week that over 100 boys from the 43rd Division stationed here have volunteered for Korea, and they have been accepted. They will leave in several weeks. Guess you will be glad when the Christmas rush is over. How does it compare with last year? Just read that this year has been the biggest buying season in Germany since before the start of World War II. I am just referring to the Germans alone, not the GIs over here. The Germans, the paper said, are now better off than Britain, and industry and trade are growing all the time. The Russian section of Germany, however, is still in a bad way, and they have rationing. The recovery of Western Germany is really amazing. In fact, the Germans are sending gift packages over to Britain to help them out, since food is very tight over there. By the way, this ballpoint pen you gave me sure is lasting a long time. I've been using the same one all along and still haven't used the extra refill for it. Look at the nice lines it writes. I still can't seem to finish eating the same time as the other boys. Today I again was still in the main dish when everyone else was finished. I told the driver to start the motor of the truck running and I would be out soon. He said that if he did that, he would run out of gas before I got through. However, they don't mind waiting for me. While I finish my meal, they just sit around and gab, drink an extra cup of coffee, and smoke a couple cigarettes. As soon as the inspections are over with, I'll let you know what kind of food I need. One of the ambulance drivers bought 4 cartons of cigarettes from me today for 50 marks. I now have 105 saved up, so I'll have to start looking around for something else to get. I still have 2 packages here, which I haven't had the time to mail yet. We'll let you know when I do. I got this information secondhand from one of the boys in the medical company of the 43rd Division. He said that one of the officers in the 43rd asked Sergeant Romo if he thought I'd be interested in joining the 43rd Division. You see, their pharmacist leaves for the States in a couple of months, and I guess they want a replacement. Romo didn't mention anything to me because I guess he thinks I may be interested since their pharmacist is a master sergeant and my chances for promotion would be great, but I would never think of leaving the unit I'm in. I couldn't ask for a better setup. Romo has hinted that as soon as we are allowed to make more promotions, I would get another stripe. Corporal, but that probably will take a while since we only have 6 men in the outfit. 2 of the boys here in the dispensary are in hot water right now. One was charged with rape by a German girl he took out, and he is going on trial tomorrow. Another boy claimed by some German girl is the father of her still unborn child. Actually, I don't know the full story, but Captain Saunders is trying to help them as much as possible and has talked to both girls. Things may turn out alright, but it just don't pay to get mixed up with these krauts, which is a nickname still used over here for the Germans.
Here are some Army terms you may be interested in learning. 1. Jeet eat. A shortcut for saying, did you eat yet? Bus drivers, an expression we use to devote the Air Corps men who are stationed here and whose uniforms blue closely resemble Greyhound bus drivers. Swabbies, an expression we use to denote sailors. They were always swabbing the decks of the ships with mops. The old man, our dear old company commander. The bitch box, the square-shaped loudspeakers which are all over the camp and which yell out all kinds of orders to do this and that. Small terms I forgot to mention. All the Negro boys in the 2 places we've been to so far have been separated and live in separate rooms. They have a pharmacy here which sells everything, even baby foods and clothes for the officers' families, canned foods, perfumes, etc. We all got ration books when we arrived. We are allowed 15 packs of cigarettes a week and a pound of coffee a week. They're the only items rationed. I bought 3 cartons of cigarettes for $1 each and sold them for $2.50 each to one of the sergeants. He's stationed here and goes into some of the towns and gets around $5 a carton. He said when we get to a regular post and get stationed, we should be able to make a good profit.
Fill the first prescription for and orange syrup. We're going to get another bottle of 100 and stock up on the stuff. The Army pays about $18 for 100, so they save much. Most of the stuff they get for half the price we pay or less. I was wondering if you can get it in pints. It would probably cost you less, and you could use prices which I listed above. It looks like we should start doing business with the Army instead of Walgreens.
The interviewer said I should only be in for 21 months and not 24. If so, I'll be here till around next October. The 15th of August will mark my 6th completed month in the Army. We'll write again as soon as possible. Your World News reporter, Allan.
We're having plenty of laughs right now here in my room. 3 of us are writing letters and listening to the radio. We got a station from Czechoslovakia called Radio Prague, the capital of Czechoslovakia. They have some woman announcer who speaks perfect English. She talks about all kinds of Russian propaganda. She just gave the Korean War news. They shut down 18 of our planes last week and didn't lose any of their own. American and British aggressors in Korea are torturing civilians. She goes on, and it really gets ridiculous. When she signs off, she says, "This is Radio Prague, the voice of peace signing off." The program is sent out 3 times a week, and we usually look forward to hearing it for a few good laughs.
December 29th, 1951. Dear folks, Guten Shabbos to you all. Just got back from services, said the usual prayers, and sang several songs. One was a new one to me, which I believed is called Yigdal. Does it sound familiar? We just did have 10 boys present. Just imagine, little old me making up 10% of the congregation. As you can see, I am now writing on new stationery, which I just got at the pharmacy. Got 60 sheets of paper and 20 envelopes for 30 cents. For stationery, that's pretty cheap, and it's inexpensive besides. Everybody around here is talking politics right now. The opinion here is that if Eisenhower doesn't run, Truman will win again. Nobody here likes Taft or Stausen. It just seems like voting for the lesser of two evils. Well, can't quite finish up this page, but considering that I've written you 3 letters in the last 4 days, that's pretty good for a stinker like me. Love, Allan.
Thursday night, October 2nd. Dear gang, you can thank your lucky stars, Yankee stars that is, that I'm writing you tonight. Felt sick after they got beat last night and didn't write. And if the Yanks win again tomorrow, I'll drop you another line. Sure enjoyed that 7-1 game tonight. The broadcast came over very clear. Heard a news broadcast this evening, and they told of an ex-sergeant in the Russian army who fled to West Germany, and under the new alien law is joining the U.S. Army for 5 years. He's been here about 3 weeks. Well, he finally got orders to go from where he was stationed to Bremenhaven. He traveled all night long, and when he arrived the following morning, yesterday, the first thing he asked reporters was, who won, Brooklyn or the Yankees? Wednesday, 17 December 52. Just finished sending off a letter to Ellie, telling her about the box I just sent home. In it is 4 cashmere sweaters, which I told her to share with Cookie. Excuse me, Jeanette. By the way, also in the box was my extra pair of glasses the Army made for me with the metal frame, and my old pair of glasses plus clip-on sunglasses to go with it. Just set them aside. No definite word on my leaving except that I'll be gone before January 10th. We'll keep you posted on all events. Love, Allan. Wednesday, 24 December 52. Dear gang, well, by the time you receive this letter, I'll be at good old Bremerhaven waiting for my ship. Yesterday, I got my official port call. I leave here Sunday morning, December 28th at about 7:30 and will arrive in Bremerhaven on December 29th. Sergeant Johnson and 5 other fellows are leaving here the same time. Actually, I have no more working days left. Thursday is Christmas, and although Friday is also a holiday, I have CQ, first time in about a month. Saturday, the dispensary will be closed, and on Sunday, I'll be saying Auf Wiedersehen to Batholtz. I would have written you yesterday about the orders, but was just too tired and excited. I was running all over the place, getting checked out, filling out papers, and getting my records fixed up. Also, got your money order and cashed it. I also got paid for the whole month yesterday, and so I'm all set. I'm going to send a box home with a bunch of personal items, mainly clothes, my extra army shoes, the sign I had in the pharmacy with my name on it. When I came over here, I had to carry all my clothes plus all the field equipment, but I'll be traveling light now. Just bought me a suitcase for the stuff I'll have to take back with me. I was really surprised to be leaving so early, and I also found out that I will be discharged from Meade. Guess I'll have to postpone that New York trip. Maybe we'll be able to go up there together for a vacation. Love, Allan.
You know what the last words of Lincoln were?
I'm dying.
You and your goddamn theater tickets. Good.